Hey, welcome to season 8, episode 5 of I'm Right. The show will start in approximately 4 minutes and 26 seconds. And if you're watching this in replay, know that you can fast forward right past this spot and get right into the show. But if you're live, please hang in there because the show's gonna start in about 4 minutes and 10 seconds. Oh, tonight's going to be an exciting show where we're going to have Diane Harvey, a fantastic author and a fantastic person. So we're looking forward to that. So stay here or otherwise you'll miss it. Okay, so what else have we got going on? What else do we have going on? Well, if you're here live, you can make comments and questions if you're on Facebook or YouTube. And that seems to be the way most of us listen. And Diane, we do see you we see you there in our studio. So hi, we'll see you on the stage in about 3 minutes or so. So yeah, be sure to make comments and questions if you're on Facebook and YouTube. And if you want to be on the show, like be in the show, you want to be seen or heard, or you just want to be heard, there's a link there on Facebook and YouTube. All you have to do is click that link while the show's going on, and it will bring you right in to the show. And you will become an instant star. So we've got about another 2 minutes and 30 seconds to stardom. So please stand by for the next exciting episode of I'm Right. Okay, we're getting closer. We have just 2 minutes to go where you are going to meet our amazing guest, Diane Harvey. She's just incredible. I can't wait till she pops up here and you all get a chance to check out her book. And we're going to tell you all about it and show you all about it, and we're going to talk all about it. And after you hear Diane, you're going to want to buy the book. And we're going to give you information where you can buy her book also. So this is going to be really cool. So we got about another minute and 15 seconds, and we're going to get into the show. And remember to make comments during the show. We really do like the comments. It makes for a better show. I just want to let everybody know this isn't I'm Right isn't just our show, it's your show. And audience participation makes the show better. I would like to say it's just all Jill and I, but when there are people in the audience and you make comments, it does make this show better. So please keep helping us out by doing that. So we got about another 30 seconds and the show will actually start and we'll be here live. So please stand by. Come on, Jill.
We got it. We got it. Greetings, everyone. This is I'm Right.
I'm right.
And I'm Jill Cox Cordova.
I'm Anthony Cordova.
Welcome, everyone. Welcome.
Yeah. Hey, y'all.
Hey.
What's up?
What's up?
What is up?
What is up?
Why
Well,
are you
tonight
saying
we have.
everything I say?
It's fun. It's fun to do that.
Yeah, okay.
Before we get into our topic, I want to say hello to some people who've said hello to us.
Oh, we have people?
Yes, we have
Yay.
people. We've got Ronaldo. Hi, Ronaldo.
Hello, Ronaldo. How are you?
Hi. And we've got, hang on. Let me get it
Ronaldo
off.
is
Okay.
like the bionic man.
And we've got Connie.
Hi, Connie.
Hi, Connie. Hi.
Yay. Cool.
And
Welcome.
a little later, we're going to introduce our special guest, Diane Harvey.
Yay.
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 Yay!
Yay.
That's right. Yay!
All right.
Okay, so tonight's topic is about caregiving, which is one of the many reasons why we wanted to have our guest on tonight, because she wrote a book about
caregiving.
Yes.
Yeah.
So let's get to our first segment.
We have a segment.
We have a first segment.
We do
Every time.
every single time.
Every single time we do.
Okay. All right.
And we call it
Stand by your stance.
Ooh, stand by.
So
my
part of the book
stance.
that Diane wrote is about her being her father's caregiver. So for this segment, I thought it would be interesting for us to talk about who would we choose as our caregiver if we needed one.
That's a good question.
I think you should go first.
Well, it made me think about something. We always think of our children, our children or our grandchildren would be maybe our caregivers. But what if someone didn't have a child or grandchildren? It's just a thought. But
Well, I mean, there are
I'm going to
professionals.
touch-
You can go someplace and,
Yeah,
live
that's a little-
there.
But what if, like, a close friend? Would you think a close friend would do that?
Which close friend would you choose to do that?
Well, I'm off topic, so I am
You are
going
very
to
much
choose.
off topic.
I am going
Have not
to
answered
choose
my question.
I just had a thought.
Okay.
While the question was posed.
I mean, it's a good.
Now, logically, one of my daughters is in the healthcare profession, and she's very, very good at what she does.
Absolutely.
Very good. Okay.
Absolutely.
And the other daughter is an attorney. Okay.
And she gets
So-
things done.
So I was thinking about it. Now, the daughter that's in healthcare, she would take very, very good care of me, but maybe too good.
What does that mean?
She wouldn't let me do anything. She would not let me do anything or make me do tons and tons and tons of stuff that I didn't want to do.
That you don't want to do?
So, yeah, I'm going to pick the attorney.
Well, I'm going to go another direction.
Okay.
I'm going to pick, because part of, having someone be your caretaker means living with them. And we already have someone living with us.
Who's that?
And he proved, who's
I
living with
know
us?
I know where you're going with this. I don't know.
Last
I don't
Christmas,
know.
he proved that he's a really good listener. And he kept saying, because his papa wanted, what did you want?
A smoking
A smoking jacket. You've said that for years. And he was like, I got you. And he did. He gave you a gift card so that you could go pick your own out. And he knows I love books. So he gave me like enough for like 2 books or 3 books, right?
Yeah.
So he has us. He has us, and he already knows our habits. Like he told me the other day, he was like, I knew you could be in one of 3 rooms when I didn't see you in the first room that you're normally in. So he knows our habits.
It's
So,
not like we have a mansion.
well, he's the one. Well, I mean, I have certain rooms that I'm in or not
Come
in that he
on.
sees me in, right? And even though he's 18 years old, I am convinced that his bank account is bigger than all of us. I am convinced of it.
Probably,
So
yes.
he would have the money to take care of us. So I choose our grandson.
All right, we'll see how he feels about that.
All right. Well, with no, well, I think we should get to our guest.
Yes, please.
All right. Our guest, everybody, is Diane Harvey. She wrote a book called.
Hi, Diane.
I got to take those
That's
off.
all right.
She wrote a book called Raising Daddy, and it's an excellent,
Raising Daddy. Isn't that an
excellent book.
amazing title?
It is. It is. And look at the cover. That's just extraordinary to me, too.
Yeah.
Right? So, and you can get it. I have a link on both YouTube and Facebook that if you want to order this book, and you should, because it's great writing. It's riveting. I read it in one sitting.
Yes.
Because I just couldn't put it down. You can go to bookshop.org and get it, or anywhere where, you could go to Amazon too if you want. But I'm a writer, so I choose bookshop.org
Yes.
for various reasons. Okay.
Absolutely.
So let's get back to Diane.
Yay, there she is.
Okay. So, hi, Diane.
Hi, Jill. Hi, Tony.
Hi. Good to see ya.
Welcome. I'm so excited to have you here. As Tony said in the pre-show comments that he makes, you're just an extraordinary person. So we just love you to death. Anyway,
it's mutual. It's mutual.
Yes.
But you did write this book about your experiences of raising your father. And so,
what does that mean? Was he a baby when she started raising him?
well, she was
How
she was
does that happen?
49, an empty nester, ready to do her thing, right, Diane? And then suddenly, you're your father's caregiver. So to answer Tony's question, how did this start?
It started with Daddy's headaches. Now, Daddy lived in Gary, Indiana, and I'm here in Atlanta. And he would call and he'd say, I have a headache. I have a headache. And my first name is Jesse, which I always thought was very masculine because it was named after him. And so he started calling me Miss Jessie. That way he femininated it up a little bit.
Okay.
So he said, Miss Jessie, I just feel so bad. And I said, okay, well, you need to come to Atlanta for a minute because I cannot try to resolve this over the phone. So it was the King weekend in 2005. And I went to get him. I went to see him. And he was just so sick. I said, well, you got to come back with me and see the doctors in Atlanta. So he was here maybe 3 days and he had I had a stroke and a heart attack.
Oh.
And so we had gone to the emergency room several times, but within a week he had that heart attack and stroke. I didn't think he was going to make it. He was 83 years old. So I said, oh, he came here to die, man. He just came here to die. But then he got better. And I don't know how he got better. It's definitely some stuff going on out there that I can't control. And the doctor said, your father's going to be fine. I said, he's 83, don't you? He said, yeah, but he's going to be fine. So after went through rehab and everything, he came home with me. And it frightened me to no end because long as he was in the rehab in the hospital, he had nurses, he had doctors, he had people to feed him. People were washing his clothes. And when they said, okay, we're going to discharge your father home with you, I panicked. Wait, who's going to wash the clothes? Who's going to cook? Because it's me. All of it's me. And then I thought, okay, wait a minute. I took a deep breath. I said, I have raised 2 children. If I can raise 2 children, I can raise Daddy. And then that's how the title Raising Daddy came to be.
I see. Now, do you have siblings?
Yes.
And where do you fall in that order?
The youngest.
So why do you think
I'm
your
the
father
youngest, too.
chose? Well, he chose you, right? He chose you as his caregiver.
Well, I don't think he knew he was going to need care, but he called me every time he got sick. And I think it's because I had children. And I think he knew I would know how to take care of him. And I was divorced. So I was single. And so was my children were grown. So I guess I was the what I want to say, not the obvious choice. Plus, I think I look like him. I'm named after him. I think he just wanted to come here. And I had dogs. He loves dogs. None of my siblings had
Ah.
dogs. So he was really happy to come here. My brother still lived in Chicago. And I think my father was he needed to get out of the cold weather and the ice and everything. So Atlanta was a fortunate choice. And my sister was in Nashville, but she had her own health issues and she has since passed away. So I think I was just the logical choice.
I see. So
Okay.
you mentioned that you were frightened in the beginning because all these professionals, medical professionals, are taking care, and now it was up to you.
Yes.
So what was the hardest thing you had to learn how to do, and how quickly did you learn how to
Well,
have
it's
to learn how to do it?
let me say this. It was trial by error. The thing I had to learn most was patience because I'm still working at that time. I'm still working full time as a social worker, and I'm having to find somebody to take care of him, which he didn't want. He wanted me to take care of him. So everybody I brought in, I don't like that person. Oh, she's too bossy. She's too this. I said, Daddy, I've got to go to work. And he said, do you have to go back? Because I'd taken some time off to get him acclimated. And he said, you have to go back. And that's when I realized he doesn't want any of these other people. And I said, Daddy, I have to go to work. So trying to convince him that this is new for me. We're going to have to make this work, but I still have to go to work. That was hard because he didn't want to. And just like a kid, he would put on his little sad face, like, you're going to work now? Oh, look at me, Daddy. Yes, I have to go to work. I think what I had to learn to do was have the patience. And I had to learn to find some humor in there because it's such a serious thing you have to do. And the book I wrote, I did it from a humorous perspective because you have to. And as I wrote it, I relived all of that. So it took me about 10 years to write a book that's less than 100, about 100 pages. Because in reliving it, I'd have to stop and go through the motions of how nervous I felt or how excited I felt or how much of a failure I felt. Can I give you the story of one of my failures I thought was a failure?
Absolutely.
I thought I was being a good mother. When you have kids, you have to keep up with them. You keep up with the kids. So we took Daddy to the VA, Veterans Administration Hospital, and it's huge in there. And he said, I got to go to the bathroom, Di. I said, but Daddy, you got to wait till I park the car and then I'll go in with you. No, no, I know where I'm going. Daddy, no, you let me park the car. I got to go right now. And I thought, you better not use the bathroom in my car. So against my better judgment, I pull up to the front and I let him get out and he goes in to the VA. So I parked the car and I thought, I wonder if he knew to go to the 13th floor. That's where his appointment was. So I'll just ask the people at the information desk. So I'll go up there and I say, have you seen an old man with a baseball cap on and a sweatsuit? And the lady just started, have you seen him? She said, look around. And I looked around. Everybody there was an old man with a baseball cap on. Then my heart was like, doo-doo, doo-doo. I lost Daddy. I lost Daddy. I said, can you make an announcement? No, this is not elementary school. We do not announce. Please come. And I thought, I lost my father in the VA. And I just walked and walked and walked. And I was going, because I said, he's not going to know to go to the 13th floor. And I was walking and he happened to see me. And I tell you where he was, in the cafeteria. I should have known food was somewhere he was going to find it. And he looked at me and he said, you could see the relief, but he had to save face. He said, oh, so you found out where I was. I was coming back to you. He wasn't. He was lost as he could be. So I was just
Wow.
frantic. So part of taking care of him is to keep up with him. But I thought, I lost my father. This is unacceptable. This is bad parenting. Things like that. And then he would do things because he wanted to protect me. So let me give you, continuing the VA story. I'm single. This guy in the VA, I think, was kind of trying to flirt with me a little bit. And Daddy looked over there like, I don't think so. And so Daddy said, Dad, go get me some water. So I went to get some water. When I came back, the guy wasn't there anymore. I don't think he had been called back to the doctor. I don't know what Daddy said to him. Daddy got in there. He started blocking. I had to think, he doesn't want me to date anybody because everybody's a threat to him. So things
Uh,
like that that I had to learn to dissect his behavior and interpret it and go, okay, this isn't being mean. This is being fearful. If you get with somebody else, what if they don't want me there?
mhm.
So he had to get rid of that guy. So
Oh,
Yeah.
wow.
things like
Wow.
that. There were countless numbers of blocking, countless numbers of him wanting to still be he was a Taurus, and Leo, I'm sorry, Leo, still be the lion of a king that he was, but he
Mhm.
really didn't have the physical health to do it. And it took all my social work skills and everything my mother and grandmother ever taught me to be able to let my father have his strengths while at the same time trying to lead him. That was
Mhm.
very hard to do because my father
Yeah.
would always say, "Don't you forget who's the parent here." I said, "I know, I'm and you're going to do it. I'm not going to do it." And we went through that a lot. I said, "You keep acting up, and I'm not coming to visit you in the hospital." And he said, "Yes, you are." I said, "No, I'm not, because if you don't eat," the doctor said, "don't let him eat certain things." I said, "But Daddy, you can't have that. I've always had that." "Yeah, but you weren't 83 with a heart attack and a stroke." So we argued a lot, but we had to do it in a humorous way because I did not
Mhm.
ever want him to feel put down. I never wanted him to feel like he was a bother to me. Although I was exhausted, I never wanted him to know that. And I wanted him to know that he was welcome here. I gave him
Mhm.
the master bedroom and I slept in a smaller bedroom because he was the king. I had just moved in this house
Mm.
6
Okay.
months before he came. I hadn't even finished unpacking, but I
Oh,
gave him the
wow.
master bedroom because
Mhm.
it had the ensuite of a bathroom and he needed all that stuff.
Yeah.
And so I
Yeah.
just went into another room and said, let him just have the space. And it was okay. I
Wonderful.
mean, I didn't feel bad about that. I hadn't gotten used to it. I'd only been there 6 months.
Wonderful.
So I
Wonderful.
guess Jill adjusting to two personalities that had changed from when we lived together before. I really was the daughter, and he was my dad, being the parent. And now in this phase of life, he was actually more in the role of child, and
Mhm.
I was more in the role of parent. So that role reversal was probably the greatest challenge we had to work through.
Wow.
But like you
So,
said, you wanted to make him still feel that he's your father, he's the king,
mhm.
all of that. So I do think that that's important
Yeah.
too.
And if you don't mind, there's a couple of people that want to say hi.
Yes.
Please, I don't mind at all.
Yeah.
Yes.
So,
So
so
Connie said hi earlier, but if you can see her maiden name is Harvey. Maybe you're related.
No, my married name is Harvey, and I
ah.
really don't think you're related to them. And that's all I'll say about that.
Okay, we'll let that go.
Then we have
Then we
had
also have another person in our audience, Stacy, who says hi, and we say hi to Stacy too.
hi,
We haven't said hi to
Hi,
you
Stacy.
either.
Stacy.
We're
Hello.
happy
Thanks for
you're
listening.
here. Yeah.
Yes, yes, we are. And then we have another comment from Ronaldo. I had a friend in Gary, Indiana, that was an only child and no children. He taught college, and his older students. Oh, was it was his caregiver in his final years. Just never
Really?
know who that caregiver will be.
That's interesting.
Wow.
Okay,
Yeah,
and
see,
I'm from
that's what
Gary,
I was
Indiana.
asking about in the beginning, you know.
Oh, that's interesting. Well, could Ronaldo say who the person was? If I would know that person from Gary, Indiana?
Ronaldo, you want to type who the person's name in Gary, Indiana? In
Because I'm
case
six, yeah, in case I
she
might
might
know
know
them.
that person.
Yeah, that is really interesting that his older students, oh, that is impressive. That is
That
very,
Wow.
is. That really is.
so
Still some
the
good
other
people
thing
out
is
there, right?
find somebody, I'll tell you right now, people, find somebody who will love you even when you get old or have some type of
Mhm.
infirmity, because it's going to take an act of love to get through this. It's hard, but you will get through it because you love that person. And many times when I would meet caregivers, they would go, I really love, my husband, my mother, my grandmother, but this is hard. I said, it's not, you don't ever have to say, I really love them, but it's because you love them that you could step up and do this. Because
Hmm.
there are
That's
days I
right.
just wanted to scream and I just wanted to cry. And I would go in my garage, sit in the car and scream. Because they had to make sure he didn't hear me because then he would think something was wrong. And then I'd
Oh,
come back and go in the house and then I was fine. Daddy being a Leo and a father, and I know people have different roles. You may be taking care of a mother, a spouse, a friend, a teacher, and people have. I haven't heard the teacher before. That's new, Ronaldo, but I have heard of people taking care of their best friends. Dr. Cornell Bell. Okay, I don't know that. I don't recognize that name, but how fortunate Dr. Cornell Bell was to have students to take care of him. That's
absolutely.
Cool.
such a gift.
Absolutely.
But you have to
Absolutely.
have people. So if you're being mean to folks now, get it together because in a heartbeat, you can need some
That's
care.
right.
But you
Ab-
have to, and I had fun. I had to have fun with Daddy about this. He, I didn't think he'd live long because he was already 83. He lived to be 94. So
Oh,
I was
wow.
going a mile a minute thinking, okay, I just make the last few days of his life the best. But after a while, I think these last few days are lasting and they were into the years now. So we need to pull back a little bit. So I said,
Uh-huh.
let's start doing something. Don't you want to go do things with other seniors? And he said, who are you calling old? Well, how old does one have to be considered old? I was listening to the senior citizen things at the church. Mildred Bell was his spouse. Okay, I don't know that name either. Gosh. Now you're gonna make me think about it though. When I get off, I'm gonna think about this. But anyway, I would say, Daddy, let's go to the church. They have a senior program. He would not go. Then they had senior programs in Conyers, and one program had Denzel Washington's wife to come play the piano. I said, "Oh, this is upscale." Pauletta Washington was here. He was like, "Oh no, Pauletta, I'm not going in there." And he would
Pauletta
embarrass me.
didn't even make the cut.
He didn't make the cut, and I thought Pauletta would definitely be a draw. And I said, Daddy, you got to go. And he was like a kid, again, that raising daddy part. We went to the third place with a senior place and they had a pool and everything. And I said, Daddy, don't you want to get out and see? And he folded his hands like a kid and turned his back. And I apologized to the woman. I said, I'm so sorry. Let me just take him back to the car. She said, well, what? I won't waste anybody else's time because he didn't want to do that. I said, well, let me try bingo. I said, Daddy, you want to go to bingo? No, I'm not going to bingo. It's just a bunch of old people there. I said, well, I'm going to go to bingo. And he said, you're going? I said, yeah, I'm just going to go. Well, I'll just go with you so you won't be by yourself. Yeah, come on and go with me so I won't be by myself. And we played bingo 3 nights a week for probably 8 years.
Is that
He
right?
loved
Wow.
bingo. He loved going to the casino in
With you.
with me. Yeah. And we could take somebody else, but he was going and he was going to sit in the front seat. And we had our little routine we listened to when we drive down to Alabama. We would listen to country music going down and we listened to Sam Cooke coming back. But one day my
Oh.
brother came and we were going down and we were listening. And I'm talking about Patsy Cline, old country music. And we were listening and just having a good time. And my brother said, let's turn on the radio. My father looked at him like, oh no, he didn't break the tradition here. So we went on to the casino. We came back. He went on, my brother went on back to Chicago. My father said, can we go again? Because we didn't get to have the good time that we usually have because he interfered. I said, yeah, Dad, we'll go again because we certainly can't have anybody interfering. But so it takes a minute to get a flow. So I'll say that in terms of a lesson. And the book is designed in a way that I give you little quotes in the beginning to set the stage. And then I give solutions. Well, I give lessons that I learned at the end of each chapter. And if anyone doesn't want to read every chapter, they're all
And they
compiled in the
will. They will
box.
want to read every chapter.
All the lessons are there. And I loved writing it in that format because it gave people an introduction to what they were going to read. So if you say, I don't want to read that, you just skip to the next chapter. But I hope you read that because I just like it. But some chapters may speak to someone more than another chapter.
I understand that. Well,
Mhm.
that's a perfect segue into our next segment that we call.
I'm trying to help you.
That's so cute.
So you just told everyone that your book is structured where you have the lessons that you learned after every chapter, but at the end you also have the list of everything that you've put after every chapter. So
Right.
what What's your biggest piece of advice for people who may already be caregivers or may find themselves in that position one day?
Well, get help. I didn't know that I could get people to help me do this. So in the back of the book, there's some resources, none of which I knew at the time I was doing this. There are organizations that can help you find in-home caregivers. Medicare actually has several programs that can help an in-home caregiver that's a family member, and they'll pay them. There's some eligibility requirements, but I didn't know about any of that stuff. You need to support groups if you can find those. Now there, you're not going to have a lot of time for support groups, but because of formats like this, where you can be sitting in your home and
Mm.
talking to a group of people, it's okay to tell somebody, I'm tired, I'm exhausted. I went to a therapist, and I am a therapist, and I said, I'm exhausted from caregiving. And I didn't know there was such a thing as caregiver stress. Well, neither did she, because this was about 20 years ago. And I said, I'm just so tired, and I just have a hard time staying awake at work. And she says, well, how long have you lost interest in things you wanted to do? I said, no, I haven't lost interest. Well, how long have you had? I said, you know what? I'm a therapist. I know a suicide risk assessment when I see one. I said, I am not suicidal. I just want to know, is this normal to feel that way? And sometimes that's all you need to know. It's okay
Hmm.
to feel that way. Nobody could change a thing, but it was okay to feel that way. So the biggest advice I would get other people, and the biggest resource you can have, the greatest resource, is someone who has been a caregiver, because they're
Hmm.
going to really be able to help you versus someone who has good intentions, but to say it'll be over one day. Well, you're not ready to hear that. I mean, I knew one day daddy would die, but the likelihood I could have died first too. So you did no, that's not what I wanted to hear. And someone else said, well, just put your dad in a nursing home. I thought, okay, I don't want to hear that either. You're not the right person.
Hmm.
So you have to find someone who has been through caregiving and can say to you, I know this is hard. This is what I did when I went through this caregiving thing. So the greatest thing, find you a little community to talk
Hmm.
to. If you online, on the telephone, in a church, wherever they have it, find somebody else who can help you through it. And then just and look and find the resources, because there's some financial resources too, because that can be a problem if you need money for things and you don't. I was still working, so I had that advantage. And daddy had his own Medicare and retirement, and he was a veteran, so we had some VA benefits with medicine. But everybody doesn't have all those financial resources when they get in a position of
Hmm.
caregiving. So don't hesitate to reach out to somebody else. And you can always email me. And on my website, it's dianeharveyworks.com. Like I go to work, dianeharveyworks.com. And then there's a place for you to contact me. The last page is contact. And then you send me an email. I'll gladly talk to you or hook you up with any resources that I have or that I know of, because you don't have to do this. I wrote a thing in here at the end. I wrote a letter to the caregivers, and I put the song that comes to mind is one we learned in elementary school: No man is an island, no man stands alone. And so that's the main. Please reach out to somebody else for help, because you don't have to do this by yourself.
Do you
Bravo.
have anything you want? Right?
I'm like,
I
woohoo.
like the little clap, and that's so nice.
Do you have
Wow.
anything you want to add for advice? Because I
Whew.
do.
Oh, you go ahead, Jill. Go right
My
ahead.
advice is also to read the book.
Thank
And you
you.
could go to
Yes.
bookshop.org, you could type in the title, you could type in Diane's name, and it'll come right up. Because, but Diane, one of the things I really loved about your book, and I loved many things about it. Tony's telling me to do stuff. That's why I hesitated. Like, what? What am I doing? He One of the things I love about your book is that you showed people what you did, show and tell. Like, the writing advice, show, don't
Hmm.
tell. You did both, and you did it expertly, because you show people what kinds of things they may encounter by telling your story, and you told it very well. And as the audience has seen tonight, you're funny too. So there is, so there are many humorous spots in your book as well. But then there's also the serious part. Like serious things were happening to your father, and you told how you handled that. And then you also gave the tips that you mentioned, as well as the list of resources. So I highly, highly recommend, that if you don't know someone personally, and maybe you feel a little awkward emailing Diane at first, although she's very accessible and very approachable, you can start with her book. It gives you a really good
buy her book
introduction.
first.
Really good introduction to her.
Yeah,
Do I
beyond
have-
what we're doing tonight.
Do I have 10 seconds to read just one blurb of this is the very end?
You
of when
absolutely
Daddy
do.
actually died?
Yes.
Absolutely.
Okay, I was in the room when Daddy was cremated. He wanted to be cremated, and so I was there. And the guy said, have a few words with him before we cremate him. And I did. And I told him that I hope I did a good job caring for him, because I really didn't know what I was doing. And many days I felt like I was flying by the seat of my pants, but I hope that I got some things right. And then I said, you often said that I was bossing you around like I was your parent, and you reminded me that you were my father. And I did the best I could and hoped that I was half the parent that you were. And for the record, I always knew which one of us was the real parent. And after I said that, I gave a thumbs up, and then the guy started the conveyor to do the cremation. But that was, to me, a fantastic ending, to be able to say kind words to him at the very end.
Absolutely. Wow. And it was moving to me too.
Mm-hmm.
It was
I
very
cried
moving.
the whole time I wrote that chapter. I was sitting in that parlor all over again. And the guy said, does anyone want to come with you? I said, I couldn't get one person. None of my kids, none of my friends, nobody. I said, you want to go and sit with me and have a final? What? And watch your father be? Nope. You can tell us when it's over. So I got some wuss for friends, but I was able to get through it.
Well, we have another comment from Ronaldo. I think it's important to let them maintain their independence as long as possible, as long as they are not a danger to themselves or others. Our daughter has been
stated.
Our daughter has been trying to ground us for the last 10 years.
That's going to be a hard one.
That is such a key. They cannot be a danger. And that was something too, that in my new house, we had to get things redone in the bathroom. We had to take out the shower as it was and put in a curtain with the rails, with the guard rails and the seat and all that stuff. Thank goodness my son is such a handyman. He did all that stuff himself. So it didn't cost us a fortune because he did it. We had to take up all the throw rugs because the nurses said that's why they call them throw rugs. They will throw an older person because they don't pick up their feet. They shuffle. And so it was a lot of redoing my house to daddy proof it, or as Ronaldo. So you have to really make sure they're not danger by the way you have your house and everything set up. But you also have to not watch them so they're not a danger to other people and what they do. So you're doing two things. You're watching them, and then you're trying to do offensive and defensive plays at the same time.
Correct.
Very well articulated. But of course, right?
Oh,
this has been the most informative show that we've had in a long time.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
Thank you. I think everyone is going to love the information you gave and reading your book.
Yep.
We didn't give them the price of the book is $15.
Look what Jill did.
I took us to black. Sorry. What were you saying, Diane?
Okay. The price is $15 because I don't think we ever.
You can't beat that. Nowadays, books are like $30.
Yeah, it's $15, and I'm not going to even go up as they go up on charging me for shipping and everything. I'm keeping it at $15. And if people like to do ebooks, there's an e-version of it. I think that's $7.99.
Oh, okay.
Well, that's cool.
Okay. Well, any final thoughts, words?
Oh, for me or from you and Tony?
For you.
For all those who are caregivers or are going to step into that role, you are chosen. You are wonderful. You have everything you need to do this. You have the strength. You have the courage, and you are the chosen one. It's not What happened to me? Why did I get into this? You were chosen to do it because of all the greatness you have. So don't ever look at it as a punishment or God being angry with you. It is one of the highest accolades you could have, to be given a life to take care of.
Wow.
That was beautiful.
Bravo.
We
That
need applause for that one
we
too.
need-
That was beautiful.
Oh, thank you.
Wow.
Well, thanks again, Diane, for being our guest tonight. As Tony said, I'm sure a lot of people will benefit from this. The replays, everybody, are available always after every show. Diane, I will send you the links so that you can post it anywhere you want, if you want, and that you'll have that. So after the show, that's what I will do. But thank you again for being here. We really appreciate it.
Yes, you made for a fabulous show.
Fabulous, fabulous.
Thanks for having me. And you too.
I'm sure
continue
your
to-
dad is proud.
I hope so.
He is. All right. Love you.
Love you.
Love you.
All right, we're going to wrap up the show now.
We're going to wrap up the show. Yay. Are we ready to wrap
We
up
are
the
ready.
show?
You ready?
Okay. I'm
All right.
ready. See people later. Okay, anyway, after the show, anyone, we need your input. So if there's any shows you'd like to see, any topics, anything you want to know about us, maybe something behind the scenes, let us know and we'll take care of it. What else have we got going on, Jill? Check out I'm Right, episode 6 with our guest, Charlie Perry. And Charlie Perry is a vodcaster also, and he discusses fentanyl. There's so many things to learn about fentanyl, and he is also a poet. We are both poets. So this is great. So check that out on February 12th at 8 p.m. Eastern on I'm Right. And remember to check out I'm Right every Wednesday night at 8 p.m. Eastern. But you can also watch the show through Jill's website, which is jillcoxcordova.com. So remember, you can do that too. So it doesn't have to just be Facebook and YouTube. So is that it, Jill? Is that all of it?
That's it. I'm really glad we did this show.
Yeah, me too. Me too.
And thank you,
Fabulous.
audience, also for participating.
Yes.
We appreciate that.
And it's like I said, audience, you make the show better. It's not just our show, it's your show. And when you're here, it makes it better. So thank you everyone for coming, and especially Stacy, because Stacy has been looking for us since we left that other platform. And
it's always
found
glad.
us again.
We're always happy, Stacy, when we see your name pop up. So thank you.
Yes, and she's such a kind soul. So, yeah. All right, Jill. Well, we need to close this show
All
out.
right. Bye, everybody.
All
Until
right.
next week.
Love you all.
Love you.